Howdy, aloha, everyone. I'm here at a cemetery in Arizona, and I'm contemplating this samsara that I'm in, this reoccurring framework of uh, of behavior, of thought loops, and and these limiting belief systems that are almost like they're a self-fulfilling prophecy for myself, and uh, and I don't fully understand it yet. I'm still being affected by this samsara. I'm still in it. So what does it look like? It's like these themes of trust and the antithesis of trust, of betrayal, right? And and it has a lot to do with the wounded archetype of the warrior as the war fighter. Somebody that is always seeking conflict, is always seeking to find the enemies in the world, right? The warfighter walks through reality almost in a paranoia of assuming that there is an enemy everywhere and anywhere, and is always looking for that battle to fight. He's always looking for that enemy. And I recognize that I do this, and I have this very ancient wounds, and I've had them for as long as I can remember. So where do I go from here? I mean, I'm all over the place. But I have this pattern in my life where I'm always looking for what's wrong in the world because I want to get in there and I want to correct it. I want peace in the world. That's what I truly want in the heart of my hearts. But because I want that so bad, and because I am so connected to the warrior archetype, that I'm always looking to find what is creating dissonance. What is disrupting the harmony of this world? So I look for what is causing that, and that becomes my enemy. That becomes my new conflict. That becomes my war. So I feel like I have a habitual sense of paranoia, and I'm always in the world under the assumption that there's a threat out there, that there's an enemy that I need to engage with. And and that's valid. I mean, there are, you know. And this is what I want to really lay out here right now is right now I'm going through a pattern, right? I'm going through something. I'm really emphasizing one set of my framework. Um, and there's balance in everything. So, sometimes I do need to be at war, and sometimes there is a valid fight that I need to engage with. And what I'm trying to articulate is that I get caught in that. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm starting to see that there is going to be a moment in the future, very shortly here, where I'm going to be faced with the reality of there is no more war. That I need to find a new way of living my life where I am not constantly either in combat within my own reality or finding it externally, um, where I'm not depleted because of the combat that I just went through in my existence, or where I'm not preparing for conflict. And those are the three um, stages that I habitually find myself experiencing. And I'm at the point where I recognize that, and I accept that that's where I'm at right now, because I want to move forward. I want to find more ways to live that don't include fighting myself or fighting something outside of me through some unnecessary conflict. I don't want to be walking in reality, always looking for a challenge, always looking for a fight. I need to find a way to stop. And I don't mean stop as in I'm going to tend my wounds until I can fight the next battle. I mean actually stop and learn how to be in myself, be in my environment, and find pleasure in that, to find joy in that. Because, sometimes I I lie to myself and I say that, I give myself time to relax, but what I'm really doing is I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the next cue, uh, so that I can get involved and strategically engage in another conflict. But I want to actually stop and find peace within myself, and not just stop and splash in a river, but my internal reality is actually just constantly thinking and spiraling and going into that. So that's, the relentless fight is one aspect of this. And then the other one is the paranoia of assuming that everyone that I become close with and that I love is ultimately going to betray me. And always having this subverting voice in the back of my mind that is always trying to look for that moment where the trust can be broken, where I can question the intentions of this person in my life, as if the entire time they were solely getting close to me so that they could exploit me in some way and to destroy me. Or that every woman that I will ever fall in love with is just using me for some kind of ulterior motive and is inevitably going to just slit my throat in my sleep. And that's all ridiculous. And again, I want to emphasize, because I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be misunderstood because I was vulnerable in speaking my truth of what I feel in this samsara. And this isn't like, that's not what I actually believe. I have two very contrasting, conflicting beliefs in my own identity right now. And, one is the truth, the ultimate truth that, uh, trust just is a very fluid thing. To really define what trust is a little ridiculous, because certain things are not trust when you're creating these what's the word I'm trying to think of right now? These expectations. If I fabricate an expectation and then I put my trust into that expectation and it fails me, it wasn't really worthy of that level of trust, but it is worthy of the trust that it can support on its own. So that's like the ultimate truth of the reality of trust. But then there is these fantasies that I create for myself as I attempt to solidify myself within my own reality, and what my reality looks like, and how I can anchor my own identity into my story, and to create these pathways of evolving and creating these connections. I create these fantasies in my imagination of what is real and what is happening, and what connects them, and sometimes they're entirely fabricated, based out of my own desire for them to be real. But in reality, I don't always have the willpower to make that my reality. And what I've had to really face is how I have played the biggest role in my own suffering when I create an illusion of a fantasy that isn't real, but I believe it is real. Or maybe the fantasy, what really sparked this entire, desire to unpack whatever this thing is, this samsara, is that this fantasy in my imagination ultimately almost like seeps into what I believe to be it what I believe that this fantasy is my reality, that it is real, that this is my life, and it's not, right? Because my entire life could change at any moment, and it does all the time. um, but then, this fantasy is just this lingering scape in the back of my mind, and it has these voices, and it always tries to pull me and to confine my awareness into the confines of its own existence. So then it consumes my emotions, and it triggers my emotions, so that I'm constantly being pulled apart and stretched, as I'm trying to become this fantasy that I've created for myself. And so how does this all connect? I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm making this video, is because I don't know. But I, I don't know. This is where I'm at. And it's nice to be here and to admit without lying to myself. And right now I'm just talking to myself, like I'm literally looking at my own reflection through my phone, and I can sit there and look at myself, and I can't believe that I'm real. I can't believe that this is what I look like, because I never know what I look like. So it's just interesting to sit here and talk to myself. And I don't know if I'm going to post this or not. But how does this connect? How does this conspiracy, this paranoia, this fear of being betrayed connect with me always seeking for conflict and not knowing how to put my own sword down? I don't know. A part of me was hoping that I would walk myself to this conclusion, but sometimes you just plant these little seeds and they take time to sprout. But I do have trust that I will inevitably figure this out, because I'm good at stuff like that. I'm good at sitting down and just spending however long I need to contemplate my own behavioral patterns, my own bullshit, my own limiting belief systems, my own traumas, and stuff like this. I mean, I've had this for as long as I can remember, and it's destroyed practically any real, intimate, possible relationship I've ever had in my life, because it comes to the point where it's like I don't even trust that this person actually loves me. I don't trust that their intentions are true, and I'm always looking to exploit that. I'm always looking to create that reality in which they do betray me. And it's me. Because I am my own self-fulfilling prophecy when it comes to what I believe and what I think and what I feel and what I create in my mind. So I don't know, I hope this helps anybody. I'm sure it's helping me. But I hope that you all are taking the time to sit here on this plane of existence and to just contemplate your own relationship to yourself, your own relationship to your thoughts, to your behavioral patterns, to how you perceive yourself, how you perceive your own character, how you construct your reality based off of what you think life is and what you think that you are and who you think that you are. Because these things are all changing. We can change all of that. And it's easier said than done, because there's nothing harder, nothing more challenging than dissolving your own belief systems, because you're dissecting your entire ideological composition of what you think life is, and to sit there and unpack it and to see what makes up all this circuitry, what are all these little facets of thoughts and presumptions and assumptions that you have about yourself and about the people that you interact with, and what is the composition of a connection with another person? What does that look like? What can it be? To really pick that apart and to see it for what it is, without the narrative of painting a story of what it means, but what it has displayed through the process of showing you what it is in time space. So I feel like I'm out of words. I wish I had something to say. I wish I had something to say that was perfect. So let's just imagine that I ended this video in the most perfect way, where we all found an epiphany and we all broke through the lenses of our own limiting belief systems. Because I'm here with you, and I'm trying to see myself, and I'm trying to see myself in a more expansive light than just see what my problems are. because I'm very good at seeing what my problems are. I feel like a lot of people perceive me because I have a level of confidence in my existence, um, and I don't. That's triggering for people for some reason. And but I'm here just like always diving into my own bullshit and calling myself out on lies that I tell myself and how I limit my own self and the aspects of life that I'm not stepping fully into. And right now I'm learning how to be in my feminine nature and not just comprehend it, not just understand what it is and what it can look like and the theory of what it can bring to you and how it's here, but to actually exist in it and to fully be present in that. That's another thing, you know. I was at the creek today and I think about this all the time because I'm always thinking about something. And you know, you can be in the water, but are you really feeling the water move over your body? Or are you in the water and your mind is thinking about the temperature of the water? You know, to really be in the presence of your life is something that we're all learning how to do. And I'm trying. I'm here. I'm here with you guys. I think I'll post it. I don't know. Maybe somebody will get something out of it. Well, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I hope you're just finding your own fulfilling purpose in life, and I hope that you are finding the ways to discover hope as to solidify your own purpose here and to propel you forward. Um, and I'm here with you every step of the way. In Lakash. Love you guys.